In a serene fishing village off the coast of Devon, England, in the summer of 1996, a fisherman made a discovery that would unravel one of the most shocking and bizarre crime stories in modern history. As his net hauled in the usual catch of the day, it snagged something far more sinister: a body. There were no immediate signs to identify the man, no wallet, no papers. Nothing but a lone Rolex watch, ticking away the last moments of a man's life. That man was Ronald Platt. But the discovery of his body would soon reveal a much darker figure lurking behind the scenes. Albert Johnson Walker, one of Canada's most notorious fraudsters. A master of deception who lived many lives, committed countless crimes, and ultimately resorted to murder to protect his lies. Albert Johnson Walker was not your typical criminal. Born in Ontario, Canada, in 1946, he grew up as an unassuming figure. He was a family man, a lay preacher, and a successful financial advisor. By all accounts, he appeared to be a model citizen. However, beneath this wholesome exterior lay a scheming and manipulative personality, one that would soon see him become Canada's most wanted man. Walker ran a financial firm, Walker Financial Services, which promised clients secure investments with high returns. With his polished reputation, he easily lured in friends, neighbors, and even family members. Little did they know that Walker was building a fraudulent empire, siphoning millions of dollars from unsuspecting victims. His criminal activities spanned years, as he committed fraud, theft, and money laundering on a massive scale. By the late 1980s, Walker's financial misdeeds had caught up with him. Facing impending charges in Canada, he concocted an audacious plan. He would flee the country and disappear. But this wouldn't be a simple case of skipping town. Walker took his 15-year-old daughter, Sheena, with him, and together, they fled to Europe. There, they assumed new identities, with Walker reinventing himself as David Davis, a wealthy Canadian entrepreneur. But even in his new life, Walker couldn't resist continuing his fraudulent activities, and it was only a matter of time before his crimes caught up with him. To maintain his new life under a false identity, Walker needed more than just a fake name. He needed a completely new person to impersonate, someone whose identity he could steal. That's when he met Ronald Platt, an Englishman who owned a small TV repair shop. Platt had dreams of moving to Canada, and Walker saw his opportunity. He befriended Platt and convinced him to move abroad, promising to take care of his business affairs while he was away. In exchange, Walker asked for Platt's driver's license, birth certificate, and other personal documents. Little did Platt know, he was handing over the keys to his very identity. Walker used Platt's documents to create a new life as Ronald Platt. He lived under this identity for years, but eventually, the real Ronald Platt returned to England. Walker knew his charade would soon be exposed. If Platt resumed his life, people would realize that Walker had been impersonating him. Desperate to cover his tracks, Walker devised a plan to eliminate the one person who could unravel his lies. In July 1996, Walker invited Platt on a seemingly innocent fishing trip off the coast of Devon. It was there, out on the open sea, that Walker made his move. He knocked Platt unconscious, tied an anchor to his body, and threw him overboard, leaving him to sink to the depths of the English Channel. Walker likely believed that he had committed the perfect crime. With Platt out of the picture, he could continue living under his stolen identity. But fate had other plans. When Platt's body was pulled from the water by the fishermen, there was little to identify him by, except for one small detail. On Platt's wrist was his cherished Rolex watch, a gift he had always worn proudly. This Rolex would become the single clue that would unravel Walker's elaborate web of lies. The police, initially believing the death to be an accident, began tracing the watch's serial number. It led them to Rolex headquarters, where they discovered that the watch had been serviced just a year before. The owner? Ronald Platt. But the trail didn't stop there. Further investigation revealed that someone had been living under Platt's identity. and that person was none other than Albert Johnson Walker. Walker's downfall came swiftly after that. Police discovered that his yacht had been in the same location where Platt's body was found, and forensic evidence, including fingerprints inside a plastic bag found on the yacht, linked him to the Walker was arrested and, in 1998, convicted of Platt's murder. He was sentenced to life in prison, marking the end of a long and twisted criminal career. But the story doesn't end there. Walker's crimes extended far beyond financial fraud. His own family became entangled in his deceit. When Walker fled Canada with his daughter Sheena, he introduced her as his wife, an act that disturbed and shocked those who later learned the truth. During Walker's trial, Sheena testified against her father, describing him as a manipulative and controlling figure. She revealed the extent of his lies, explaining how he had coerced her into playing the role of his spouse while they were on the run. The emotional toll of living under her father's deception for so many years left deep scars, and Sheena described him as evil during her testimony. Walker's betrayal of his own family was just one more layer of his complex and disturbing character. His actions not only destroyed the lives of his victims, but also shattered the lives of those closest to him. Albert Johnson. Walker's story is a chilling reminder of how far some individuals will go to maintain their lies. From his humble beginnings in Ontario to his eventual life sentence in a British prison, Walker's life was defined by deception, manipulation, and violence. He lived multiple lives, deceived dozens of people, and left a trail of destruction in his wake. Today, Walker remains in prison, a symbol of the lengths to which a master manipulator will go to protect his secrets. His case, known as the Rolex, continues to fascinate true crime enthusiasts and serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of trusting those who seem too good to be true. But perhaps the most haunting aspect of Walker's story is the knowledge that, despite his downfall, he almost got away with it. If not for that one detail, the Rolex ticking away on Ronald Platt's wrist, Albert Johnson Walker might still be living under a stolen name, his crimes hidden beneath a veneer of respectability.